My brave fellows, you have done all I asked you to do and more than could be reasonably expected. But your country is at stake, your wives, your houses, and all that you hold dear. You have worn yourselves out with fatigues and hardships, but we know not how to spare you. If you will consent to stay only 1 month longer, you will render that service to the cause of liberty and to your country, which you probably never can do under any other circumstances. The present is emphatically the crisis, which is to decide our destiny. George Washington before Princeton.
So starting after Christmas, this is really going to blow up. Because the evidence that all these crooked television networks, newspapers, big tech, and the leadership of the Democratic Party have been giving you is false. And you're going to find it out all at once. It's going to be very shocking to the country.
I felt a little bit achy, but nothing to be bothering or distracting me. Went to bed last night, had a good night's sleep. Woke up this morning. The only thing I have is just a little bit of a soreness in the arm. Otherwise, I'm doing really well.
The following criteria is applied. First, for the National Security Agency, we define in writing who has the authority to unmask a U.S. person identity. That is 20 individuals in 12 different positions. I am one of the 20 in one of those 12 positions, the director. Secondly, we outline in writing what are the criteria that will be applied to a request to unmask. In a report, and again, part of our process under 702, to protect the identity of U.S. persons as part of our minimization procedures. When we think we need to reference a U.S. person in a report, we will not use a name, we will not use an identity. We say U.S. person 1, U.S. person 2, U.S. person 3. That report is then promulgated. Some of the recipients of that report will sometimes come back to us and say, I'm trying to understand what I am reading. Could you help me understand who is person 1 or who is person 2, etc.? We apply 2 criteria in response to their request. Number 1, you must make the request in writing. Number 2, the request must be made on the basis of your official duties, not the fact that you just find this report really interesting and you're just curious. It has to tangibly tie to your job. And then finally, I said too that there's a 3rd criterion, and that is the basis of the request must be that you need this identity to understand the intelligence you're reading. We apply those 3 criteria, we do it in writing, and one of those 20 individuals then agrees or disagrees. And if we unmask, we go back to that entity who requested it, not every individual who received the report, but that one entity who asked for us. We then provide them the U.S. identity, and we also remind them The classification of this report and the sensitivity of that identity remains in place. By revealing this U.S. person to you, we are doing it to help you understand the intelligence, not so that you can use that knowledge indiscriminately. It must remain appropriately.
Since you asked about that, don't tell anybody I told you this. Especially don't tell Joe Biden.
Bad fellas running with the East Side Connection.
Okay, go back to the station.
Hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. There is an enormous sphere that has showed up on the SDO AIA 171. You see the timestamp on it. And this is on the iswa.gsfc.nasa.gov website, where you can see the SOHO Lasco C2 in stereo ahead, all of them. But look at that. That is a giant sphere. And you can tell that it is an this stuff is coming down over it, and then it's coming out like that. And I can show you different filters of it. It's perfectly round, okay, and perfectly round. I don't know what it's doing there, but it's not the only one. When you see one of these like that, we know that not only one of these was ever made. I'm sure there's like hundreds or thousands of these types. And they say they get energy from the sun, and they say, but that's our sun. Well, we may share this sun with other races and beings. We just may. We really may. But I thought it was interesting to see this like that. It's perfect. This really does look like a ship that came down and come out right there, that one right there. But look at that. So with that being said, thank you all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Dear Crybaby Never Trump McRepublicans, why are you little hens still perpetuating this fraud kangaroo Russia investigation. Do you think it's okay to just ignore the will of the voters and just railroad people that you don't like? Do you think it's legitimate to pay for fake evidence from foreign spies to start counterintelligence investigations into your primary opponents? Do you little mean girls really feel threatened by these silly Russia memes on Facebook? Here's a picture of the Senate Intelligence Committee discussing a meme of Hillary boxing Jesus. Does this seem rational to you people? Also, how is it credible to shriek about RT videos on YouTube considering you morons let Chinese state media headline in Times Square for almost 5 years under the last administration? Like, do any of you have a brain? Do any of you think for yourself? Do any of you realize who you are actually in bed with? You are actually in bed with the Clintons and their corrupt stooge media dynasties. Yes, you guys, the airheaded, finger-wagging ninny little gulp Republicans. Newsflash, idiots. Russia didn't win Trump the election. Cyber samurais like me did. So by perpetuating this idiotic Russia myth, you people, yes, you little gulp Republicans, are actually the ones undermining democracy. Derp. So my message to all you hysterical little hens currently hopped up on hot air and lies is very simple. Please open your eyes, get a grip, and stop this stoogery immediately. Then get yourself on the record opposed to this fraud kangaroo Russia investigation by the end of the day tomorrow.
Everything's on fire, I can see. Just give me some time, hope you hear me.
Last night, they were forced to declare the protest outside of the police building, the Union Building, a riot.
Everything's on fire, I can see. Just give me some time, hope you hear me. Everything's on